So the future of international cooperation and education. I'll talk about skill developments and innovation here. Before that, I want to start it with a story. First, greetings to all. Konnichiwa, hello, and namaste. I am Ashish Kumar from India. I have completed my graduation from St. Xavier's College, Ranchi, in the field of political science and international relations. And today I'm presenting my views on the future of international cooperation and education. Well, I'll begin with a story. Cooperation and education go hand in hand in my case. How? Hadn't my mother would have cooperated me, I may not have had a chance to attend this seminar. So thanks to my mother and to all because of whom I'm here. My father didn't get a chance to study, but my mother, who passed her 10th grade at the age of 14 with a child in her lap, think. And she got married when she was just 13 years of age. So what was the reason she was married? She was having a child. She was having a family. What was the reason she gave this exam of class 10th grade? Why? Because she wanted to study. That was the reason. And that's why she made sure that all five of us, yes, we are five brothers and sisters, a little army of it, you can say. And the four of and I have attended four schools, okay, to complete my education. The first school was a girls' school, all girls' school, where my mother requested the teacher to allow me to attend the class temporarily because I was having three sisters who's elder to me. So there came the cooperation. The second school I studied till third grade, and my mother somehow negotiated school fee there because she couldn't afford it. So again, there was a cooperation. Then in the third school, which was better than the previous one, again, there was some cooperation that was shown by the principal. Here is my mother. And fourth school, which was free for me because we were a whole army of five siblings. And in India, if you have three siblings or four siblings in the same school, the fourth one gets free education. So I was lucky to get the free education. Again, I'm talking about the cooperation because I was the one who got the leverage. Okay. And somehow it reduced some financial burden on my mother. Now, when we are talking about the international education with cooperation here, trust me, my mother would be the happiest one after knowing that we are going to talk about the international education with cooperation. Today, all of her children are doing well. Two of them are accountants. One is an entrepreneur, where I am a civil service aspirant. And my younger brother, the youngest of all, is studying from China with the cooperation again of MHRD and the Chinese government in Wuhan University. So, why did I tell you this story? Because this is how cooperation can empower a family to raise their living of standard and economic activities. And this army of five, that we five can contribute back to the cooperation that we have received from the society. I will agree with my teammate Prerna San, who said that educating a woman can educate a family. And I think my mother is the great example of all, because she was educated, she learned till 10th grade, and she educated five of her children with no income and no resources. She just did it somehow. And we are living in an urban city. We are not living in village. So that is commendable of my mother. So that is why the international cooperation is must in education. Now, what are the challenges ahead? The challenges are, in this contemporary world, the uneven growth of, there are some countries which is rich, but there are some countries which is, like middle income countries, and there are some countries which is poor. Call it Africa. Enrollment rates are high in schools, but dropout rates are high too. Growing disparity, 250 million children are out of the school, out of which 130 million are girls. Think about it. 2/3 dropout rate before the last grade, before finishing their education. Poorly trained teachers. And 800 million illiterates are there who can't even reach to the lowest marks in mathematics. Now, what's the way forward? The international bodies should respond more swiftly to 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 the new emerging issues, that is climate change education, cloud computing, not enough to enough approach that actually perceives our greed from the natural environment, collective needs, space debris, nobody's talking about it, great Pacific garbage that we have created, nobody's talking about it. Far vision approach, especially when in today's world we are about to switch from fuel to electricity or to the battery cars or the battery vehicles. We need to take a far visionary approach there. We need to learn from our mistake that we have made in the past. We need to, and apart from that, we need to take care of our health, water, sanitation, and education. Education, particularly to girls, can break the cycle of poverty and create stable and prosperous world. What about the objectives? The objectives are, according to the UNESCO, attaining quality education for all the lifelong learning. Second, knowledge and policy for sustainable development that we need to anyhow overcome by 2030. Addressing emerging social and ethical challenges which we are facing every day, fostering cultural diversity, intellectual dialogue, and the culture of peace, which is must. Inclusive knowledge society through information and communication, and focus on global priority area, which is Africa, utmost, South Asia, utmost, gender equality, and there should not be any discrimination in any form. So what are the priorities? Expansion of education system first, which can create and meet the capacity building to rising demands. Equity of educational opportunities. There should be an equal opportunity to all. The enhancement of quality of teaching and research, which is important. Research is lagging behind in our countries. We all know that. That is something that we need to counter. Africa, the adoption of African Union Agenda 2063, which is a long way ahead, and the 2030 agenda of our sustainable goal. This is really important in the ground of Africa, the African Renaissance, and as well as the world. What about gender equality? Where women and men must enjoy equal opportunities, choices, capability, power, and knowledge. And we can equip the girls and boys, women and men with knowledge, values, attitudes, skills, and we can tackle the gender disparities as a precondition to build a sustainable future. Now, the trending innovations that we are having every day, we can see it, we are facing it, and we should respect it, and we can move further. Why am I talking about skills here? Because of the skills, these are the things that we have been able to achieve. That is wireless presentation technologies, like we don't need any wired connection for projector, shifting from STEM to STEAM. That is, first we had STEM, but now STEAM invents with A in arts. We never valued A as in arts and creativity. We never value that. That is one of the biggest problems. Online education, which is easily accessible, easy to deliver, widespread acceptance, and reach to the remotest areas. Collaborative learning, enhanced problem, which enhances the problem solving, which gives you exposure. Like this is our collaborative learning, and I'm getting some exposure, right? So I'm happy with that. Communication skills and foster creativity. Now, digital library, which is easily accessible, availability of all the study materials in one device, right? And blessing of to the ecosystem. We don't have to use a lot of papers now. Okay. Augmented reality, I talked to you about it, right? So inclusion of video, audio, and visuals to the presentation and to studies gives us an edge. AI learning gives us real-time feedback, Internet of Things, cloud technology, security technology, virtual reality, smart products with voice recognition, and robotics. Let's take this example of Sophia. So we all are developing and moving forward. What about the skills that is needed for future? We need analytical thinking, problem solving, critical reasoning. Nobody is talking about it. Collaborative working, which we are doing. Innovation is there. Creativity, how and instead of what approach is must. What are we learning is important, but in schools, this syllabus should be changed. What should not be focused, but how? Because think about it, when I was a kid, there was no internet, there was no cloud computing, there was no smartphones. Today I'm here. How am I supposed to fight in this world today? And think about the present regime who's going to face the world tomorrow after 20 or 30 years. So how can we prepare them for a challenge which does not exist now? For that, we need to train them how. We need to tell them how to ask question. We need to tell them how to see a problem. Okay, imagination is important. Public education is important. And most importantly, right type of education is important, where they can learn to ask question and learn to identify the real problems. There are some recommendations: strategic approach, online blended learning, management and support. These are the recommendations. And I would like to conclude with my points where I quote: education makes the people easy to lead, but difficult to drive, easy to govern, but impossible to enslave. I, being an Indian, has been fed with mythological epics like Ramayana and Mahabharata very early in life, where Ramayana vividly portrays the duties of a son towards his father, mother, brother, sister, wife, and family, and towards the society, where Mahabharata exhausts the fight to justice and right. So it was this rich family value and cultural heritage that found reflection in Indian joint family, and our outer world needs the same with us. I would like to conclude it with Ayam Bandhurayam Neti Ganana Laghu Chetasam Udar Charitanam tu Vasudev Kutumbakam, which means who discriminate? This one and that one is a stranger are the people with petty minds. People who evolve consciousness embrace the entire world as one, as family. Thank you all. And I would like to say that I hope you all have liked my presentation. If there are any questions, any suggestions, then you can ask. And I'm sorry for the technical glitches there.
Thank you so much. So any questions or suggestions?
So I just want to say that was an amazing presentation. You talked about so many different points, and I would just like to say it was a very amazing story about your family and about your mother, and I think she's a very wonderful woman to do what she did. And yes, you touched on so many great points, and it was such a interesting and informative presentation that I can't think of any questions really. You answered everything I was thinking about. So very good job to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, madam.